Today, you'll see how a 20-year-old got paid almost 6 grand by his very first client and how the work gets delivered. This is called first client reward. When someone in our group closes their very first deal, they get a step-by-step help to actually deliver results for their clients, build confidence, and also remove that anxiety about service delivery. But here's why this video matters to you. It is built to save you time and money, so you guys get to see how a 7-figure agency owner delivers results live, so you can skip the trial and error and get up and running faster with your own first client. So let's print some money. First sale at 20 years old, $5,700. Yesterday, I closed my first deal ever, 5.7K over a 3-month commitment, so $1,900 per month. That's absolutely insane. Keep in mind, it's 20 years old. And here's the crazy part. I took this sales call while moving into my new house, literally sitting on an Amazon cardboard boxes. I hope this motivates anyone who feels like the timing has to be perfect. Very, very wise words. Keep in mind, he is 20 years old. It doesn't. You just have to keep going. I would love to show you guys the actual picture that he actually took of the Amazon cardboard boxes, but that would I would show his name and I don't want to do that. Here are some of the lessons from the process that might help anyone chasing their first client. So this is also beneficial for you guys. You can also read through this post and actually take some of these lessons and apply them to your specific situation right now that you are hunting for your first client. So keep going until it clicks. Classic, obviously, you have to keep going. I know it sounds generic, the generic advice of just keep going, just do it. But the reality is that's like the most important advice. I ran 2 failed campaigns before this one. On the 3rd attempt, I got a positive reply on day 1. The system works, but only if you stay consistent long enough to see if it works. Obviously, like ding ding, like anything, like you need to put in the work and stay consistent in any business model, anything really, anything in life, okay? Really, if you want to play, I don't know, like football, tennis, you need to be consistent, right? So you can actually gain the skills that will make you a ton of money. Sales calls are won with authority, not desperation. 100%. I was nervous first ever sales call, but the client had been burned by multiple agencies before I did and didn't trust me at all. He even refused to answer my questions, instead asking me to explain my business model. The key was showing him the value gap between what I could deliver and the cost of inaction. Excellent. Once he saw I knew what I was about, he leaned in. Of course he did. Make your offer so good they can't say no. Since he had been burned so many times, I knew I had to de-risk my decision. My offer 15 meetings in 90 days with a guarantee of at least 3 meetings in 30 days or a full refund. As Alex Hormozy says, shout out to Alex Hormozy, the goal is to create an offer so compelling that people feel stupid saying no. Yes, that's very true. I'm very nervous and scared about fulfillment. This is the truth. If I don't get him results, I refund him. But that's the game. The fear is real, but so is the growth that comes with it. Wow, that's super wise. This feels like I'm reading like a Carl Jung book, right? This would not have been possible without the support of this community and of course Saad, our Batman. Yeah, I'm called Batman in the community if you guys don't know. The first client reward would be appreciated. Of course, my friend, 100%. You totally deserve this. Very proud of you. Excellent work. 20 years old, $5,700. That's insane. People dream to get a $5,700 client and $1,900 commitment per month. That's absolutely mind-blowing. So as you guys can see, this is the reason why I basically help members with the first client reward. Obviously, there's fear when you get your first client. Now you want to keep them. Okay, you want to see that beautiful Stripe notification every single month coming up. $1,900 every single month. I like this. You'll like this. The entire planet likes that Stripe notification. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm going to help him deliver, and you guys can take the same strategies and apply it to your exact situation. So 3 main things we need to tackle to nail client delivery. And by the way, this could be applied to any industry, any client that you're working with, any industry. So the 3 main things is 1, reframe their service/offer about money. Really, really important. And then start with their best case study and reverse engineer, okay? The third thing is use proof stack example, which is a template that I always use. Basically, this is a template that I use inside my 165 grand agency, which is working with a service provider who just helped similar company achieve specific results. They specific outcome that relates to money. It is basically all placeholders that we can fill, okay? Worth an intro if relevant pain points is on your radar. And by the way, if you want to watch the entire video of like me going in details and explain all these things, I'm gonna leave you the video in the description, so you just go ahead and watch it, okay? It's more detailed. Okay, so first let me walk you through what his client does, his offer, service, etc. And then we're going to implement the same strategy, these three main things, so we can actually deliver. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, so what they do is basically like a recruitment agency. At this point, everybody just gets their first clients targeting recruitment agencies. I have tons of videos on this channel of people actually closing their first deal with a recruitment agency, just because it's very, very easy to actually close because the pain is real. They always want clients, okay? And by the way, their ideal clients, obviously, it's a company hiring, okay? Because it's a recruitment agency. Their core main service is basically providing candidates to companies that are hiring, whether it's software developers, SDR, sales reps, whatever. Okay, so what they do is they help companies get skilled tech workers like web developers, data scientists who work full-time for them. How much does it cost? Well, their clients pay $35 per hour when they hire one of their experts full-time. They also provide guarantees, so they place an expert within 2 weeks. If the expert isn't a good fit, they replace them, which is a good offer. The client doesn't pay until the expert meets expectations. Okay, so that's a really good offer. Now, the roles they fill most is web developers, mobile developers, data scientists, all the way to technical writers, QA engineer, DevOps engineer. So these are all technical roles, okay? The industries that they serve is logistics, manufacturing, consumer, so a bunch of industries. Now, when you want to fulfill for a client, they're going to tell you, okay, these are the industries that we serve, but you never, ever pick all the industries and target all of them at the same time. Pick the best one, okay? And I'm going to explain to you why. The time to fill, usually 2 weeks to place the right expert. Who they talk to, VP engineer and director of engineer, all of these are technical roles within those ideal customers, okay, which is the company's hiring, just like I said. What makes them different is that they hire fast, so 2 weeks. There's also a quality guarantee, so they replace the candidate if it's not a fit. And then also, there's great English skills, and these companies love when a candidate has great English skills because this is what they're looking for. They want someone who can actually speak English fluently, and then same time zone as the client, okay? Now, this is a Trojan horse that I recommended he actually uses and asks his clients during the onboarding, and this is basically something that you can ask the clients, okay? You say, hey, imagine you're making a cold call to your ideal customer. What would you say? So this is what they replied with. Would you be open to trying one of our experts for free and only pay if they add value to your business? So that's a really, really good answer, okay? So let's just go ahead and implement this. So the first thing we need to do is find in the money story, because step one is refrain their service offer about money. So even though it's a recruitment agency, we're not going to talk about developers' talents, okay? We're going to talk about money. So we're going to look at their best case studies, okay? We're going to look at their case study and find the best one. Now, I'm not going to share their case studies, obviously, because they show the company names they worked with, etc. But I did a little bit of digging and I found that they had a really, really good case study. And in that case study, they helped a company get 35% more efficiency, which saved them $245,000 a year. Okay, now that's the real story to tell because it's tied to money made or saved. Okay. The second thing is we're going to pick one clear target. So since the best case study was in the logistics industry, well, we're just going to go for the logistics industry instead of casting a wide net of all these industries. We're just going to go for logistics. Okay. The step 3 is we're going to write like this, okay? So subject line is going to be 35% faster operations for company name, okay? It acts like a pattern disrupts. So, hey viewer, which is you, this is how you would write. Hey viewer, I know someone who helped random name, this is basically their case study, save about $245,000 a year by fixing their slow logistics platform. They put 11 developers on the job who rebuilt the system in just 90 days, saw the company name is growing in the shipping space, would saving money on operations help your bottom line this year. Person who knows how to write, okay? So we essentially did the same thing here. We reframed their offer about money. We started with their best case study and reverse engineered, and we used proof stack example, which is exactly this template, okay? Now, step 4 is send to the right people. Okay, obviously, we need to talk to the people that actually handle this in that company. Okay, in our case, the company is hiring. Okay, so the persona is going to be VPs of engineers and CTOs at logistic companies with 51 to 150 employees who are hiring right now for software developers, web developers, basically all the candidates that his client has. Okay, and then we're going to start with a small test and see what happens. And that's it. That's the entire strategy. Okay, so in order for us to find these companies hiring, okay, for these roles, well, we're going to use a platform called LinkedIn Jobs. I think it's the lowest hanging fruit and the quickest way to get a couple wins. Okay, so we're just going to go to LinkedIn Jobs, LinkedIn/jobs, and I'm going to show you guys a few hacks you can use, okay, to find the best companies that are hiring right now. So this is a quick LinkedIn hack, okay, that I routinely use, which is basically using Boolean search. See, now most people type in here, like, for example, sales rep or like software engineer, but it doesn't give you the actual results that you want. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to use Boolean search. Okay, so it's kind of like a secret code that actually LinkedIn hides. Okay, but within their backend, this is how they retrieve the data in LinkedIn Jobs. So you can use quotes, for example, find the exact words such as software developer, software engineer, and you use or to find this or that example, or you can use and, which is like a must-have both example. If you type it wrong, by the way, LinkedIn shows 0 results. So for example, we can just copy this entire thing. Okay, you can copy this formula. I'm gonna leave you this in the description as always. Copy this entire thing, then go back and then paste this here. There we go. So we have 476 results, more than enough for me to get started. Okay, so now we need to scrape this data. So we're just gonna go to Apify. Apify is basically like a marketplace for scrapers. You can scrape LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. So we can just type in LinkedIn jobs. And then we're gonna find that there's a bunch of developers that actually built it for us. So it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna use the advanced LinkedIn job scraper. Try for free. And then let me walk you guys through how to use it. So the only thing you have to do, first, let me just delete all this cookies field. And then we're just gonna go to this URL, copy it, paste it in the job search. Okay, make sure you scrape more, like a scrape more details, which is scrape company details. And you see this cookies, you need an extension. It's called edit this cookie. It's free. Okay, you go to Chrome and you just download it. I already have it because I'm using Brave. So once you do that, you want to go back here and then you go to Extensions tab, go to edit this cookie and make sure you click on extract. So cookies copied to clipboard, go back, paste it in the cookies field. Okay, scroll down a little bit and then make sure the proxy is always residential. Total numbers of records required. I'm going to leave this empty. Run options, no timeout. And then we're gonna save and start. And now the scraper is gonna go ahead and scrape all the data for us. So you can see LinkedIn account detected because essentially they use my LinkedIn cookie to log in on my behalf and actually scrape. So there we go. We are getting all of the companies. So let's see what we have here. All right. So all of these are companies that we want. Okay. So they make 96K per year, 210K per year. Wow. Software engineer. Keep in mind that these recruitment agencies, they make a 20 to 30% of the initial salary of each candidate they place. So that's a shit ton of money. Okay, so now we're just gonna wait a little bit until we get everything. Okay, it's probably gonna take us 5 to 10 minutes. So once that's done, I'm gonna get back to you guys. Okay, done. So that took us 4 minutes. So now what do? Well, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna build an NA10 sales system that's gonna allow us to automate basically manipulating this data, finding the emails of the decision makers, etc. It's going to be very, very simple and straightforward. And even if we get a couple errors, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to troubleshoot this together, which is going to be a learning experience for you guys. So I'm simply going to go to my NA10. All right. And then the first step is I'm going to click on this plus button, trigger manually. If I run it, nothing is going to happen because it has to be connected to another node. So click on this plus button, and then you want to look for Apify. So Apify, very simple, and it's going to be get dataset items, okay? I already have my account connected. The way you're going to connect this is you want to go here, and then let me just reconnect so you guys can see. So let me just reconnect. So you're going to get a pop-up link, and then you just choose your account, allow access. Boom, that's it. Couple clicks. Very, very simple. So now you want to go to the data set, okay? And then you want to go to your Apify actor, go to storage, go to dataset ID, copy it, then go back, paste it here. You can manipulate this however you want. If you go to limits, for example, if I want 50 records, I can just put 50. If I want 1, I can put 1. Now, for the sake of this task, we're just going to put 1. So we just get 1. So this is the company that we have. All right. So let's see. The company name. So we have the company name. So let's check this company. Okay. Okay, sweet. That's a good ideal customer for us. Supplier. Okay, so this is this is like a supply chain. Yeah, which falls within our ICP. So logistics and also supply chain. Okay. Okay, sweet. So now we're going to have to try to find the decision maker within that company. There's multiple ways. There's a straightforward way to find it, which is basically just Googling the decision maker. For example, if I put the company name plus the persona that I want to talk to, for example, or CTO, I can see that it's Elizabeth Ufferts. Okay, so you can literally do this and automate this using Google search. Okay, I've showed this multiple times, but there's a simpler way to actually get the decision maker, and it's going to be an email finder. This is basically like an email enrichment platform, and they also provide something really cool, which is basically you just give it the decision maker. Okay, you choose by category, okay, and then the company name or the domain, and essentially you can find the email. Okay, and I believe under the hood, they have like an AI agent that scrapes the company's LinkedIn. Okay. This is a platform. It's called an email finder. It also allows you to find emails, which is similar to the platform that I built specifically for my community, which is basically this one. It's called Access Masters, which is the most straightforward way to find emails of any company. And if you noticed here, we use it daily. We obsess over speed and accuracy and actually making tons of money, which is essentially like a free platform for community members. Okay. Instead of them paying $400 for this platform, like an email finder or like any other platform, they can essentially just use our own free, okay, always going to be free for people inside. And they can just essentially just save $400 and actually just focus on doing the work instead of worrying about $400 every single month. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, and since you guys are watching this, you don't have access to this, we're just going to use an email finder. And they're both good, okay? So we're going to go to API because we want to automate this. Let's see the full API documentation. So find decision maker's email. Okay. Sweet. So we can just copy this thing, and then we're going to have to go back, close these tabs first, go back to NA10, click on this plus button, HTTP requests, and then we're going to go to import curl, paste this here. Now we have multiple parameters here. We have the API key, the JSON, etc., etc. Okay. So we want to go to the authorization, our API key, and this is our API key. Copy it, paste it here. And then we have a bunch of parameters. We have the domain and the company name. So we want to manipulate okay, we have the company website. Sweet. Awesome. So we can just drag and drop the company website here. Very simple. Now with this value, decision maker category, if we go here and read through the documentation, value CEO, finance, we want IT. Yes. So IT. So we can just paste IT here or type IT here. Okay, let's see if we can find a decision maker. Let's see. Execute. Obviously, there's like a 50% chance with these email enrichment platforms. Okay. So Cindy, this is the IT director. Okay, IT director. It falls within the IT roles. Okay, let's see. So IT VP or engineering or CTO. So it's still within the technical roles that we want, okay, which still falls within our ICP because it's still a technical role. Keep in mind that VPs, engineering, CTOs are all technical roles, but every role does the same thing, but it has like a different naming convention within a company, okay? So it's totally cool. So, okay, so we found their LinkedIn. Let's check. Let's stalk them. Okay, sweet. So you know someone makes a ton of money if they don't have, like, they're not posting on LinkedIn, etc. Okay, so this is the ideal customer that we want to go for. So find decision maker email. Okay, that was very, very simple, as you guys can see. Now we need a filter. So we add a filter here. Reason why is because we want to make sure that the email status equals to valid and the email actually exists. Okay, exists. Okay. Now if I execute, obviously exists. Okay. So exists, question mark. Now we need to sort of like clean the company names because let's see here. Company name. Okay. Bunzel distribution NA. Now we just want Bunzel distribution. So we're just going to use AI to clean this up. Always make sure to clean the company names because if you use it in your copy, for example, Noticed Myoprocess LLC, okay, it sounds robotic. It sounds like you've templated the hell out of it. So you want to say Noticed Myoprocess, okay? So we're just going to use an LLM model for this. Basic LLM chain. Make sure you go to define below. And then I'm just going to use some of the prompts that I'm going to leave you. This is basically like a document that I share with people in my community. And the one that I want is company name formatter. Copy, paste this here. Very simple. And then let's just make this a little bit bigger and make sure it's an expression. Okay, normalize the company name. Let's go here and then let's just go to Apify. Drag and drop this here. Maybe reflected in the company's domain. So the company's domain is domain. Okay, so we just delete this. And then we can say the goal is to identify the standout parts. Okay, so sweet. We're going to connect this to an AI model. We can use any AI model that you want. Okay, so we're going to use Azure. You can use Claude, whatever. GPT-4o. And then let's just execute. Let's see. So it's Bunzel. Okay, it's way better. Better than Bunzel distribution, right? So clean name or clean company name. Okay. Now let's go and see the copy that we have. So we have random name. Okay, that's all we need. Okay, sweet. Okay, that's all. All right, awesome. So now the last step is just basically plugging this into a cold email software. The best cold email software is going to be Instantly. So we're just going to go to HTTP, make a request, and then I'm going to go to create lead, which is basically API documentation of Instantly. And you want to follow along, okay? Very, very simple and straightforward. So we're going to go and look for, let me remove this. Create lead. Okay, this is the create lead. Copy this entire thing, then go back, import curl, paste this here, import. That's it. Now, you need to put an API key. The way you're going to get your API key, you want to go to Instantly, log into your account, okay? And then this is not the right account, so I'm going to go to another one. This is the one. Log in. And then I'm going to create a new campaign here. So first client reward, 5.7K. Oh, thank you, Instantly. And then this is the campaign that I have. And then let me just go back to NA10. And then I'm going to go to settings. Okay, settings. And then go to integrations. Go to API keys, create a new API. For example, Scopes, make sure always it's all, and then create. Once you do that, copy your API key, go back, and then you're simply just gonna paste it here after bear. Boom. Let's see. Send the body, we're gonna make sure it's JSON, but we're gonna use JSON, okay, as a body. And then let's go back here and then let's read through the parameters. Let me go to try it. And this is what we want, yeah. Okay, let's just copy the entire thing. We're not gonna use the entire thing as always. Go back. And then let's open this up. Go here, and then the campaign ID is gonna be in campaign. So we're just gonna go to campaign / campaign before analytics. And then we're just gonna put it here. There we go. And then let's make sure it's an expression and go back. Now, the email is the email found from the filter, not an email finder. Okay. Put it here. There we go. Personalization, there's no personalization. Website, yeah, we can plug in the website, which is domain. The first name is, okay, person's full name. Okay, so we're just gonna use a formula, which is gonna be, I believe, so it's gonna be split, open, and then slice -1. So let's just copy the entire thing again, and it's gonna be 0, okay? So 0. Okay, now the company name is gonna be the cleaned company name from AI. There we go. And then add this and remove this. Okay. There we go. And then let's just delete all this stuff here. There we go. I believe everything is good. So let's just execute. So we have an issue. Campaign must match format. Let's see. There's an error. Oh yeah. We didn't copy it correct. There we go. Now we're not going to have that issue. So execute. Now we're not going to have it. Okay, sweet. So now we added the lead, which is here. All right. Awesome. So now we can just copy this entire thing. Paste it here. Delete this. Okay. And then we're going to add first name. And then it's Cindy. Okay. I know someone who helped, for example, random company. Okay. And then saw that company name. Okay. Hey, Cindy, I know someone who helped random companies save about $245,000 a year. Saw that Bonza is growing the shipping space, would saving money on operations help your bottom line this year. Amazing. Now, the subject line is going to be the subject line that we have. There we go. That's an amazing copy. Just like, it's so skimmable. Money revenue generating. So let's just test an email and see how it looks. I recommend you guys always test. Hey, Cindy, I know someone who helped. So like, it just works. Like, look at this copy. Very skimmable. Very easy, straightforward, etc. Right? Excellent. I really did a good job with this copy. Okay, so this is going to be add to instantly. Okay, now next step is we're just going to run this at 400 or the entire limit. We're just going to leave this empty. And then we're going to have to batch. Okay, so we're just going to batch, go to options. So we're going to batch 10 every 10 seconds. Okay, so now we can execute. And then we're going to find all the emails. And we're going to filter, and then we're going to clean the company names. We're going to add everything to instantly. And by the way, here's how the copy looks. See? Hopefully you can see this. But it just looks way skimmable, as you can see, right? All right, so we just added oral leads here. Let's just go and see. Hey, Brian. I know someone who helped a random company. I saw that ad drill. Okay, sweet. Awesome. We're going to add another thing. Send from my iPhone. The reason why is because when you add sent from my iPhone, when people read through the email, they're like, wow, this person actually researched me. Like, this is a great case study. They know how to speak. The tone is very simple, very like straightforward and casual. And they wrote this using their phone. Like, I need to reply ASAP. Let's preview again. Hey, Justin, saw that Kiwit. So let's check this company. Okay. So this is exactly our ICP, as you guys can see, right? And this is the guy, Justin, the person who has a technical role within that company. So there we go, guys. This is how you would fulfill for a similar client. Always make sure to implement this strategy, which is step one, finding the money story, picking up a one clear market, writing exactly like this, and send it to the right people. Okay? So the only thing you have to do right now is simply just get a client, fulfill for them, and make a ton of money. So I'll talk to you soon. Peace.